Hey guys, Figurecraft here, and today we're going to be working on more modifications that this Titanic needs that I've noticed. And the next modification that I've noticed that it needs, that the model don't have, is up here on the TV. On one side of the Titanic, we have this pipe. You can see right here, this pipe where my mouse is, that comes all the way across the two doors and goes under there, right at that door. That's the next piece that we need to make, because Air Titanic don't have that. So that's what we're working on right now. And let me get all this stuff out of the way right fast and I'll show you. Right here in Titanic, a model maker's manual, on page 42. You just get it right here where I can hold it and then I'll adjust it. Okay. On page 42, which we need to figure out where we are. We're at the front. Yeah, here we are. We're at the front of the lower well deck. So, that pipe is right here. You can see it right there. And it goes all the way across and it stops just before it gets to that door. So we're going to have to make that pipe. So it is a part of the ship because it's in a model maker's manual. So what I'm going to use to make that piece is this 16 gauge wire. And I'm going to spool out enough of it that I think I need to make that piece. Get my wire cutters. Cut off about, I'm thinking about right there. There we go. Okay. So now the next thing that we have to do is, I've got some clothespins holding this because I'm gluing back here where I've noticed that my deck didn't get glued down fully when I used the Gorilla Wood Glue, so I'm using those to hold it down. So the next thing that we have to do is place this piece in here as a dry fit for right now. We're not fully attaching it yet. This is just to make that piece. But you can see here, when it finally goes in there, it's going to look good. So let me get this back here to where I can see it. So I can push these pieces firmly in. That way we don't get nothing wrong. Okay. Now that they're firmly in, that wire comes down below the forecastle, or the forecastle, whatever you call it. I know it's called a forecastle, but in the book they call it a forecastle, so I don't know why. But that right there, so those two steps. And we have to make sure too that the wire is going to be able to go under the step when the step gets down. So we have to test that too, which is easier said than done, because this is just all dry fit. This ain't being fully attached yet. So like that. And the number one thing, does the wire have enough room to slide under the step? Let me get this away from here and look at it. If I can just get it angled right. This is kind of hard to do, because like I said, we're only dry fitting this. Okay. As long as I don't get it going too high, Yes, the wire has enough room to slide under the step. So, we can't let it get going too high. So we'll have to match what the picture shows up there on the screen. First things first, I need to get me a file, probably. Let me look in here for a file, because I need to get this sharp edge off of this wire and not have a stabby edge. So I got a file, and I'm going to work on filing this sharp edge down. Because we don't need it to be like a needle. We need it to be flat. So, hang on a few seconds here while I work on this. This is not the easiest thing to do. Alright. I think we got a whole lot of the sharp edge off. Not too terribly much is off, but that's about the best that I can do. And I'm pretty sure if I try to cut it again, it won't take that edge off. It'll leave something. I'll try it again though. Yeah, it left another sharp edge like I thought. So file this down. It's the only bad thing about working with sharper wire. But anyway, let me get you back to focused here. Okay, so we gotta first start making the piece. And to do that, we need to eyeball where the bend has to happen. The first bend. Let me get you zoomed down here. And I'll zoom you in so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Let me make sure you're focused good. Alright. So, now I need to figure out where the first bend has to happen. Which, according to there, the bend would have to happen right about here. So I'm going to take my hand and bend the wire. Which is easier said than done because this is very thick wire. Like that. But I'm guessing that we did not get it right the first time, which no, we didn't. So, this is going to take some maneuvering. So, just give me a few here. It's very hard to bend thicker wire. But I'll get it. Just give me a few seconds here. I'm going to need another pair of pliers. So, I'm going to use these to grip it and work on bending it. While trying not to stab myself. Oh God. Oh. 16 gauge wire, or not 16, 15 gauge wire I think this is, or is it 13? Hell man, I'm telling you wrong. Oh, okay. Yeah, 16 gauge wire, I was right. 16 gauge wire is very difficult to bend. Let's see here. You can see there, I got the bend to happen. But I gotta go right there, straight across. So I gotta straighten this wire up now. Oh my gosh. Oh, you stupid wire. Pain in the butt. Okay. We'll just have to eyeball it and go across and straighten it as we see fit. So, now that has to go right there. Now we got to figure out where the second bend happens, which is way over here. And according to the book, it's before we get to that door. So, about, I'm guessing right in here. So let me take this away. Now bend it. Oh my gosh, easier said than done. Ow, my hand. Oh, come on, man. You don't like me, Mr. Wire, and I don't like you. Feelings mutual. Ugh. Sorry, y'all, I'm putting a whole lot of pressure to bend this wire. This is very thick wire, but I found that this was the best wire that I could find. Okay, we have, like that. You think that'll work? Let's see where it bended at. Oh, look at that. That bended perfectly. Now we gotta cut it off right to the right amount of the plastic back here. So, let me eyeball this again. Oh, and I'll show you what we got. So I'm gonna cut it right here. Give it a little bit longness just in case I get the first cut wrong. It's always best to think ahead. Oh, man. And oh, this stuff is hard to cut. Oh, let's try this with this one. Okay, got it cut. Now let me eyeball this and see how we look. Alrighty, let's see here. I'm gonna have to bend that back up, but I'm working here. Ah, man. Well, I just now noticed too, there's a hole over here in the deck that wire is going into. That hole's probably for a rigging wire later on in the build. So I gotta figure out how to get past that. So, yeah, I like that right there. I just gotta clean off a little bit of it, but not by much. But I've just about got it. So let me cut more. There we go. Now we'll bring it back to the camera and let you see it. So there's that. Here's our little metal wire. And then if I push it up there, let me just bend this a little bit more. Make it towards touching that wall. And see there. Now hold it there. We got it. Just got to straighten up that wire, but I do have it the way I want it. And that right there is what I'm looking for. So there's our new piece to add in, but I gotta inch this wire up a bit. It's kind of caved down on me. So let me just try to twist this wire back in place, which is not going to be the easiest thing to do. Okay, that looks straight. So, yeah, like that, like that. Stupid wire, you're a pain in my butt. Let me see what we got. Oh, come on, man. Hang on, man. I'm getting it slowly. It's just a trial and error, trial and error. But you can see here from the top. Let me get it down here. You can see there when I push it in, it's doing what I need it to do like that. So we just got to figure out a way to get it to stay and keep it even. Probably glue it on there somehow or something like that, but first it's got to be painted. So yeah, we'll have to paint it. So now that we got the wire piece made and we've got it to the way we want it, we're going to use some paint. Let's see here. Plaid, gloss white. I got that white to choose from, or I have the this white right here, which I gotta choose which white I want. Which white would suit that the best? Let's try this. Let me zoom you out. Let's try this one. So let me shake up this paint. Let me put my forecastle right there. Let me get the lid off this thing. That's it right there. And let me dig us out a paintbrush. But I also got to figure out too where the white line is going to end and then the orange line is going to intersect. So that's the next step too. So let me move this paint right there for a minute. Let me get the lower well deck. Let me zoom you back up so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so what we're doing here, we're trying to eyeball where the line intersects. Yeah, that looks about right. And we'll put a mark on the wire so we know now the bottom of it is the orange, the rest of the top of it is white. So now we know where the line intersects. So now we'll go ahead and we'll paint this. So let's get these out of the way. We definitely don't want to accidentally drop no paint on these pieces. So let me move my forecastle there and put my lower well deck up there. Let me move these little steps out of my way. Okay, now for the paint. Let me zoom you out. Now, found the paint. Didn't mean to get that much of it though. Okay. Where did I put the mark? Right there. Alright, we'll start from back here. Now we are painting a wire. And if you know anything about painting a wire, painting wire is not the easiest thing to paint. You can see there how it's turning out. Let me get my pliers, because I'm running out of places to hold this thing. And I'm going to try to grab it by the area we marked. So, give me a few seconds here. Huh? What happened? The area we marked has disappeared. Don't tell me I painted the area we marked. Oh, man. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Maybe it walked off. Yeah, it's on my hand. Great. Oh, well, we'll just guesstimate at it now. I know it wasn't too much. So, you see there the area we marked disappeared. So I'm going to take a guesstimate at it now. I'm guessing it was right about there. I'm guessing it was right about there. I could be wrong, but you know how it is. Let me pull this way a minute so I can see what I'm doing back here. As I said, the wire is not the easiest thing to paint. Mainly because the paint likes to scratch off the wire as you're painting it. Okay. Which is what I'm experiencing right now. That's going to be behind. That ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay. We have the wire painted white. Now we just got to wait for the white to dry, and then we can do the orange. But that's going to do it for this video. Once I get the wire fully painted up and get it ready to go, being mounted to the ship, we'll mount this when we get to issue 25, I think it is. But this coming Tuesday, we'll be doing 24, so we're still a ways from this. I just wanted to get this made and out of the way. But y'all have a blessed one, and goodbye.